So this paper is a reading paper. You have 2 hours to write this exam, and you'll see that there is also an enclosed insert. Okay, so all your answers need to be on the question paper, so you don't have separate paper to write on. Okay, this one was from May-June 2023. So let's just go through these instructions. You need to use black or dark blue pen. You need to answer all questions. You need to write your name, your center number, and candidate number in the boxes at the top of the page. You need to write the answer to each question in the space provided. Do not use an erasable pen or correction fluid, which is like Tipex. Do not write on any barcode. So make sure you don't write on the barcodes because that helps them scan things. If additional space is needed, you should use the lined pages at the end of the booklet, and the question number or numbers must be clearly shown. Don't like go writing on the back of the insert. And so don't highlight anything. Do not highlight in your paper. Just don't do it. It's not a vibe. Highlight on the insert, but not on the paper that you hand in. Okay. Now, dictionaries are not allowed. Your total mark for this paper is 80. So it's out of 80 marks. And at the end of each question, you'll see square brackets. And then your insert has the reading text. So it said read text A, working a winter season at a ski resort in the insert, and then answer questions 1A to E. So give 2 qualities that are required to work a winter season at a ski resort according to the text. So we're giving these 2 answers. So this is really just question 1A is just comprehension. Question B is explain what the text means by. So this is seeing, do you actually comprehend what the actual words mean? And so this is easy because you're just giving another way of saying it, but you can't use these original words. And so we work through here. This is a basic reading comprehension. Okay. Now, if we look at question 1F, it's a little bit more, a little bit different to a normal comprehension because you're actually summarizing. So you're going to take text B, remember to check which text you're supposed to be working with. So here we read text B, seasonal work, and we need to write a summary of the passage. But we're not just writing a summary. We're looking at what are the advantages and disadvantages of taking a seasonal job. So each exam is going to ask you a question here, and your summary is supposed to be an answer to that question. Okay, so pretend you're ChatGPT, and I say, what are the advantages and disadvantages of taking a seasonal job? And the only information you have as ChatGPT is that one document, this text B. You're supposed to take text B and answer this question, what are the advantages and disadvantages of taking a seasonal job? So you get 10 marks for this. You get 10 marks for the content, so for what you wrote, and 5 marks for writing it well. So how you structured it, whether your spelling is correct, whether your grammar is correct, whether it's engaging. Then you see they give you lots of space to do that. Then we've got question 2. So we've got, again, another text where you're reading text C, Wanaka, which we've got question 2A to D on this question paper. And so it tells you it goes up to question D. Okay, so it goes up to here. So what we're doing is we start off by doing some vocab work. So identify a word or phrase from the text which suggests the same idea as the words underlined. So it gives you, it expects you to have a knowledge of different words. Then we do that. Then using your own words, explain what the writer means by each of the words underlined. And so again, we're explaining what these words mean, but you cannot be using the word overlooked to explain overlooked. Okay. Now, C, you use one example from the text below to explain how the writer suggests his opinion of the training provided. So use your own words in your explanation. So our lift supervisor, okay, I'm not going to actually read that, but you're going to take the text below and you're going to look at what the writer does in order to show you what his opinion is. not what the writer's opinion is, but how the writer suggests his opinion. Okay, so how does he do it? And now we're moving very much into the how. And then we've got our writer's effect, which went beautifully into our writer's effect. And so when I talk about writer's effect, this is what I'm talking about, where you have to write a 200 to 300 word mini essay thing. And you're basically taking these paragraphs and you are exploring how the writer has used language to convey meaning and create effect in these paragraphs. So what techniques, how has the writer actually brought their meaning across so that it is clear for you as the reader to understand what they mean, not just on a basic up here level, but really on a deeper level, including some nuance and some connotations. Then our last question, question 3, also looking at text C Wanaka. Okay, so we're using the same text for question 2 and 3. They're kind of related. And here we are a journalist, so it gives you who you are. Journalist writing an article about a job of a ski lift attendant. And it is part of a series of interesting seasonal jobs for young people. Okay, so you're writing a series. Now, in your article, you need to understand this is part of a greater collection. In your article, you're going to explain what attracts visitors to Wanaka and why, describe what being a lefty involves, and what might appeal to young people about this job. And you're going to suggest what someone might find challenging about working as a lefty, and useful advice for any young person considering applying for a job at a resort. So this is basically three sections of what you're going to write. You can mix them up, but if you do struggle to make sure you've got everything, it's helpful to kind of like keep them separate. But here you're going to be getting 15 marks for your content and 10 marks for how you write and your quality of your writing. So your spelling, your grammar, punctuation, all of those things you're getting marks for. And so I really want to see that you have understood the text. Remember, this is your reading paper. So I'm looking at, does what you have written show that you have fully comprehended every aspect of the text and fully understood what is going on in the text?